Lit Minute Poetic Conversations, our first
Hey,
installment for 2021. We are lit and we are happy to be here for several reasons,
that's
right?
right. Yes, yes, we're glad to be alive. That's the
That's right.
first reason.
That
Okay.
is right. I have Miss Karin Black Beauty Talbert with me again for this session. She joined me last year, and we had an awesome time talking about cathartic writing and how writing can help us purge different emotions that we're dealing with. But this time, we are going to talk more about her passion for poetry and for spoken word and what's in store for 2021. I know she's had a few exciting things that have taken place towards the end of last year and getting ready, going into this year. So we want to hear more about that to get everybody ready for her
That's
to
right.
hit
That's
the stage.
right. Black Beauty is in the building.
That's right. That is right. All right.
Hey,
Did you want to say anything to start out? Give us an introduction of yourself. I'm gonna let you
I
introduce
am
yourself
Black
this time.
Beauty. I am Black Beauty, also known as Karen. I'm a Karen, regular girl, but really I'm Black Beauty, the poet, the passionate poet is who I am. I have a lot of passion in me for poetry, and I realize that's the reason why I'm alive, and that's what I continue to do, and I'm going to keep doing no matter what. So this is the beginning of the 2021. So I'm really, really, really excited for this year because 2020 was just a preview of what's going to happen next year, which is this year. So I'm ready because I was ready last year and I'm still ready now because I stay ready.
That's right. You got to stay ready around here, right?
That's
Gotta
right.
stay ready. Many different opportunities will come your way. And if you on the path that you're supposed to be on and doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're always ready for those opportunities to grab a hold of them and to soar
That's right.
and or continue to soar in what God has for you. All right. So Karin, who or what inspires your writing?
Okay, so who or what inspires my writing? It's really not a person, a place, or anything. It's really my trials and my tribulations, my joys, my happiness. Like my kids are my inspiration because they hear me practice all the time, and they probably get tired of hearing my poetry, but they do listen to the words and they know that they mean something. So that means a lot. So that inspires me to keep writing, and just knowing that me being alive still, and to be able to share my gift inspires me to keep going. And also, I gotta mention Maya Angelou is another person who inspires me for sure. Although I haven't had that type of style that Maya has, I do have the directness of coming straight from the heart like Maya. So that's definitely an influence of mine. And she definitely inspires me.
Yeah, she definitely has like a raw grit to her writing. She just puts it out there. Almost,
Yes, yes, yes.
how she feels it, and it does resonate within the words of her poetry. I admire her for that as well. Now, why do you
Yes, yes.
choose poetry as your genre or your type of writing? Why did you choose poetry?
Well, I didn't really choose it. It chose me.
Okay.
I realized I had a gift. It came to me naturally because in school we were, learning about writing poems, the little stanzas, but it's basically wrote was on my mind and I happened to learn how to rhyme with
Hmm.
it. And then actually I learned, dang, I can rhyme with this. I can actually say these poems and
Right.
people can feel them. So it's that it naturally came to me as a gift that I know that was actually given to me by God. So that's something that I know that it's not that I chose. I didn't choose it. It chose me. You know what I mean? It came naturally, and I'm thankful to have it because I realize not everyone can, put words together and make them rhyme and also touch people at the same time. With that just rhymed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know it's a gift, so I'm so thankful to have it, and I don't want it to ever go away. Like sometimes we go through things in life where you feel like, dang, I should stop doing, nobody paying attention. But I've learned that I have to keep writing, no matter if somebody tell me, oh, I don't like that poem. I'm gonna keep writing that poem because guess what? They're not the ones coming up with these words to these poems. I am, and
Mhm.
actually not coming from me. They're coming from the man above because I asked him for the word. So,
Mhm.
it means a lot to me because I didn't choose this. So that's why I know I'm so passionate to keep going because I didn't choose it. Sometimes I do want to just stop and say, oh, I ain't gonna write no poem, but it's in me. It's in me. It's when I
Mhm.
wake up in the morning through the night, what I mean? It's all in my soul. It's something in me. It's like, it's like my boyfriend. That's what I want. my poetry is my boyfriend.
Okay.
So it didn't choose me. I didn't choose it. It chose me.
Okay. Okay. Now, when you say that it chose you, do you remember like that particular instant, that moment? That's the word I'm looking for. That moment when you
You
said,
know what?
"This is it."
It's interesting because when I was younger, I used to listen to the words to the song. You know, back in the day, we had to rewind the song to write down the words. You know,
Uh-huh.
we go way back. We had to stop the song,
Right.
rewind it, write
Right.
down the word.
Right.
So I was like, whoa. And so I used to like Whitney Houston song, Saving All My Love. That was my favorite song when I was younger. And she basically said the greatest love of all is loving yourself. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that one line, this was like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? So
To love
just
yourself.
knowing that
Yeah.
I could just write that down and just, it's just amazing that things like that can inspire you to just want to write something. Like if you could write one small line like that, that's one line. That whole song, you don't gotta remember any of the words of the song, but you're gonna remember that line, the
Right.
greatest love of all. So when I knew that I can write simple lines of words that come together and people like can touch and feel it, and you can make the hair, the people on the arm stand up, and you can make them cry in the seat, you can't help but know that it's a gift. You know
Right.
what I mean? Some people can say poems and you can listen to them and you just don't want to listen to them, but you
Mm-hmm.
listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Some people you can just have that natural gift to just want people to want to listen and want to hear more.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you make a mistake, even if you might stumble on your words, because when growing up, I did have a problem with speaking too fast and saying my words too jumbled. I had to learn to slow down. So that's another thing that I had to deal with that made me say, no, I'm not going to do it because maybe I'm not going to be able to say my words right sometimes. But I've learned that that's just an obstacle that I can overcome,
Right.
and the words going to be said eventually, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to feel them because I'm going to be coming from my heart.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you say hearing that song and writing down the lyrics to the greatest love of all, and in particular that line, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all, would you say is that also the same time you learned the power of words?
Yes, it is. Words are powerful. Yes, I did learn that those, even in songs,
Mm-hmm.
music.
Right.
Music is important in this world. I feel like if you have since we're speaking about music, and usually music, they have a large platform
Mm-hmm.
that a poet wouldn't usually have. However, if you have that platform, your music should have a message behind it. So that was a message in that song.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how she was able to touch me. What
I think I
happened?
just lost your video.
Yeah, see, where are we? Sorry, what's going on?
No, it's okay. Take your time.
Okay, here we go.
We're here.
Alrighty.
What was another point in time where you realized the importance and the significance and the power of words? Was it another point in time where you were able to experience that was life changing for you, that even pushed you further along on this path towards spoken word?
Well, it was during a time when I used to just write about painful things in my life. It was like maybe my early 30s. I had received a comment from an audience member saying, I love your poetry, but you might want to stop cursing. You might want to,
Mm-hmm.
just you sound like you're angry, which I wasn't angry. I was just passionate, but it was passionate about the pain. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't about the
Mm-hmm.
joy. So I knew that I had to turn it around. So I had to pray to the
Mm-hmm.
man above to ask him to give me the words. And he gave them to me. I never would have thought I'd be speaking a poem in church. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
never would have thought I would be standing in a church speaking to people and people sitting up there, praising the Lord because I'm speaking the words that was given to me. And that's why I knew that the power of my words were more than just me up there telling people, about my hurt and my pain. I
Mm-hmm.
knew that I can tell them about the love of a man above who got me through that pain. So
Right.
that's when I knew. That's when I knew that it's a gift. So,
Right.
sometimes I do write a lot of inspirational poems, and sometimes I try not to forget my old poems. But my old poems are poems that, may have a few curse words here and there, which I try not to make myself feel bad about it because that was me prior.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I can't throw those poems away, and that's still a part of me. So I still got to realize that I can still share those poems and still be a good poet. you
Mhm.
know, and
Mhm.
still spread positivity.
Absolutely. So, is that your goal? My next question was this: what is your goal of your writing, and what do you hope to accomplish with it? Now, you just mentioned, spreading positivity. What does that look like to you? Spreading positivity. What would that result look like to you as you're performing your poem, and then afterwards?
Well, seeing the people's faces in the crowd, seeing that they're smiling and laughing, possibly. Sometimes my poem will make you cry, and that's not a bad cry. It's a cry that I done touched you. You know what I mean? Never feel bad for crying. That's the thing I want to let people know. Never feel bad for crying, even if you're a male. Sir, you need to cry. Let it out, and ain't nothing wrong with letting out your emotions. So yeah, knowing that you can see those people in the audience getting actually touched by your words, and then afterwards see the standing ovation that you never really expect to get. Because sometimes the audience sit there like this, you be like, I want to, but then you get the standing ovation, you're like, whoa, and then you get the people who come pat you in the back, and people you never knew with
Mhm.
complete strangers come pat you in the back. Oh my God, you were awesome. That just gives you confirmation. It gives me confirmation the right way. This is what I'm supposed to be doing because I just touched these people, because they not coming to touch me physically because I just touched them with my words. So that's my goal. When I write my poetry, my goal is to always come from my heart, because I write from my heart. Because if you gotta write from your heart, you know what I mean. Because that's the only way you're gonna reach other people's heart, is coming from your own heart. So my goal every time I write a poem is to make sure I'm coming from my heart. So that's why I take my time, and I ain't just making up some nursery rhymes that most of these rappers making up these days. No low blows, but I'm just saying. So that's my goal, is to touch people's soul with my words, until they can see that, dang, she a normal person just like me. I'm a normal person. I might have a platform of being a poet and can speak to large people, but I'm still a normal person. And to know that I can touch them and go home to my regular life with my kids, and be a mom and do the things that I'm supposed to do as a woman, and still be able to touch people in the same token, that mean a lot. So that's the goal when I'm writing, to show them that she just a regular girl, but she do got that powerful thing that God gifted her with, and that she want to share. And that's basically it. That's my reason for breathing.
Mhm. And I hear you
That's how I
about,
feel.
yes, I definitely hear you about the different messages that are promoted within artistry, within music, within rap, within hip hop, and even some spoken word too. So I definitely feel you on that. No, it's not a low blow, but it is a valid critique that we have on many different levels. You know what I mean? So no, it's not a low blow, but that is one of the debates that has taken place for several decades now, since rap and hip hop became more popular in pop culture. What messages
Right.
are being promoted and why are they being promoted? And that particular conversation can have so many different layers.
That's a podcast in itself, right there.
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's that whole life imitates art, art imitates life, blah, blah, blah. Should we be that raw and gritty in our art? Yes, you want to tell your story. And how you tell your story is up to you, because those different modes of expression, those different ways of expression, our creativity can be, again, cathartic. Some people have those
Hmm.
life stories that, you put that on paper and it's gonna make you cuss, it's gonna make you cry, it's gonna make you want to fight. It's
Right.
sometimes gonna make you want to kick
Exactly.
off somebody, you know? And that's the truth. That is a path that some people have had to live, and then they end up writing about it and rapping about it and talking about it. But a lot, like when we were coming up, who was it? Was it NWA?
NWA, we had Too Short,
In
Ice Cube,
Florida,
yeah,
we had
definitely.
Two Live Crew and Luther Campbell.
Whoa,
Uncle
whoa,
Luke, we had a
OMG.
lot
My
of
first
stuff going on.
concert, my first concert ever was a Two Live Crew. Oh my God. Why?
Yes. And can you
That
imagine?
was that was
Like,
another that was
go
another moment
ahead.
that made me realize, like, oh my gosh, I would never go out like that. Because even if I had it, the body and the things that these girls have, I would never do the things that they're doing. Oh my goodness. It's like, uh. but music has a lot of, power to influence people.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
so
There are even church ministries that discuss the same thing, you know, and they have different
mhm,
workshops and different prayer meetings to exorcise demons that might be, you know, attached to some of this music. And trust me, I understand. If you don't have discernment and if you're also not teaching your children discernment, they will go out and mimic and do what they're hearing in this music. So I'm all for people
right,
being, you know, more responsible with their artistry and promoting positivity and positive messages. But at the same time, you know, we don't necessarily want to be censoring ourselves, in my
mm,
opinion, because that does go
yeah,
against freedom of speech and freedom of expression. But also
that's
on our
true.
end,
That's true.
teaching our children discernment. You know, this is entertainment. This is entertainment that either you can support or not, you know. Whatever you do, if you decide to listen to that song, please know that whatever is in there that does
Mm,
not align with good values, you know, however you define good values in a positive
yes,
way, then that's not something you want to do. Yeah, so I
right.
definitely agree with you. I believe in responsible artistry myself. I'm with you on that one.
Yes, definitely. And that's what I aim to be, a responsible artist. However, in the past I had a few, poems that would, have a few curse words and not major, little nastiness, not too major, but but now future writings that I'm writing poetry is going to be most definitely to inspire people and to let them know they do have a choice for their day. They do have a choice in their attitude. They
Mm-hmm.
do have a choice to, to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's nobody else's choice for those things I just named, but your choice, your own choice. Your choice to be happy. You know what I mean? It's nobody else's choice but your own. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want to tell people, because I go through things. I don't hide things. I feel like I should. I'm a poet. I'm supposed to share my story. I'm not gonna hide what I'm going through. I'm not planning on sharing more things through my poetry, because it needs to be said, because people do reach out to me personally and tell me how I've touched them, and and I know that that means a lot to me, even if it's just 2 or 3 people. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It means a lot that I was able to touch somebody and help them through their day.
Mm-hmm. And being positive and spreading a positive message does not necessarily mean that you are sugarcoating anything.
Hmm.
You know, you're still
Right.
discussing those raw, gritty topics. You know, so all right. So, what is
Yes,
your
yes.
favorite piece that you wrote? What's your favorite piece that you wrote and why?
Um, it's like asking my daughter asking me, "Mommy, who you love the most?" So when you ask me like what's my favorite poem, it's kind of like the same when my daughter asked me that, because all my poems I write, they are all good to me. So like every poem I write are my favorite poems. So that I do have a poem that I like to share around the time like domestic violence. I have a poem called "No Need to Apologize," because I've been in a domestic violent relationship, so I tend to share that poem around that time of month. You know what I mean? I have all types of poems as far as pain and to help people get through the pain. But so that's why not really like there's no favorite one, because all of them are good to me, because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I poured my heart into them. I poured my heart out in them when I wrote them. So
All right. So,
hopefully sooner or later I'm going to be working on trying. Sorry, I'm going to try to get a project together so all my poems can come together and have a book so everyone can see my poems visually instead of me just speaking them. So I'm this year most focusing on trying to just get myself together as a real artist. And it's just takes time and patience, and I realize that.
yes, and you are a real artist. And my next question was what, you know, what projects do you have coming up? Since you mentioned that, so you're working on a book.
Well, I'm working on a book. I did, audition for AGT in November past 2020. So we praying that they gonna be contacting me in springtime. Okay, we just praying for that. That
Yes.
that's gonna be the project that I'm claiming already, mine's. So I also have a February Valentine's Day event coming up, and it's being thrown together by Kinky Collections. They're having an event on February 13th. I'm going to be doing that, and also just going to be doing several events throughout the community. Just if someone needs a poet, just hit me up. Black Beauty, Poetically Yours. You can hit me on Facebook, Instagram. I don't have a Twitter. Um, And basically, let's see, I want to also do my own open mic. Hopefully, you know, I had someone reach out to me the other day hoping to open up their own, you know, club on Central Avenue. And hopefully they're going to open an open mic. So they asked me if I would be about that life, and I am. So hopefully that comes together. So we're going to hope that goes through well. And again, a podcast. I would love to start a podcast. I'm trying to get, you know, more, even though people think, oh, she performed on stage, she should be able to talk on a video. Is to be, no, I'm still shy and nervous when it comes to talking, because, you know, it's just hard to be unnervous if you got a gift you want to share to people and you know they're listening to every word you say. So
that's true. And again, that goes back to the power of our words.
All right,
well,
right.
At this time, I'm going to give you the floor, and you can share any of your poems that you would like to share with us at this time.
So I'm going to do this poem, my word, since it was Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Happy belated birthday to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I wrote this in mind of him, so I guess I share it. You know what I mean? It's called My Words. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing this for the fame. I'm doing this because I know my words can make a change. Everybody quick to point the finger, but don't nobody want to take the blame. If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was alive, he would truly be ashamed. He would be ashamed he marched to stop segregation, but as a race we're segregated amongst each other. He would be ashamed he marched for equal rights, yet some of us think we're better than the next just because your skin is lighter in color. He would be ashamed to know that some of us lack confidence and suffer from low self-esteem. So we go out and try to change the way that we look by buying bleaching creams and butt implants and breast implants, and the list is never ending. So many claim to keep it real, yet so many love pretending to be someone else, pretending to live a life of a star. How homie got a mouthful of gold, but homie don't got no car? And how homie sleeping on his mama couch but steady cashing out the bar? And why homie ain't taking care of none of his kids but love rocking the latest fashions? I swear that's the type of man that I hate with a passion. And no, I'm not male bashing. I'm just telling it like it is. I can admit that there are several women that are mothers but don't deserve to have kids in the club every weekend, priorities not in order, making twerk videos for attention, not caring if they're doing it in front of their daughters. Instead of checking your kids' homework, some of y'all too busy on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And instead of wanting to be a doctor or a lawyer, some of y'all would rather be a bad twerker or a stripper. And I know some people don't like to hear the truth, but we ain't painting a pretty picture. We ain't setting a good example. Do we not recall what our ancestors went through? If we had to endure what they had to endure, we wouldn't be able to walk a mile in their shoes. We wouldn't be able to deal with the pressure. We wouldn't be able to deal with the pain. We wouldn't know what to do if we had to go through slavery again. We've come so far, yet we keep setting ourselves back. I ain't spitting fiction. I'm spitting straight facts. It's a cold, cold world, and I ain't talking about the weather. I said it before, and I say it again. We need to get it together. Everybody want to be famous, but don't nobody want to be a role model. Life wasn't about having sex, selling drugs, or popping bottles. Life wasn't about who got the biggest ass. Life wasn't about who got the most cash. Life wasn't about what's happening to love of hip-hop or Real Housewives of Atlanta, because quite frankly, that is trash. But we love that. We feed off the negativity. Some people might not like what I got to say, but I know the majority is fiddly. So no, I'm not doing this for the money, and no, I'm not doing this for the fame. I'm doing this because I know my words can make a change. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love when I say my poems because I can feel them because I'm saying them though. But I think somebody else can feel it too. I think somebody else can feel that.
I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. I'm snapping and clapping over here. Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
And I know you saw me shaking my head. I was like, yes, girl. And
okay.
In that poem, you touched on what we were talking about different art and how our society is actually just kind of declining in its moral standards, and it's becoming more popular and more acceptable. And yes, you know, people make their own decisions with what they do with their life, but sometimes they just do these things because they're conditions. That's all they've been exposed
Right.
to, you know, and your work, your
And that's why.
message is definitely painting a different picture, giving a different image and vision that
Thank
our
you.
young people and some
Yes.
older people need to see, to say, hey, there's more to life than what's on my block. There's more to life than what's on my side of town. You know, there's more
Hmm.
to life than what's in my town. Let me go see what's out there.
Okay.
Let
Thank
me
you.
expand my horizons. We have so much access to so much information, first and foremost, right here on the cell phones that most people have. You know what I mean? So go see
Right.
what else is out there. You're looking at it digitally, but go experience it. Find a way to expand your horizon,
Right.
to broaden your boundaries and see some other stuff. One of the best things that happened in my life was getting out of my hometown. And I love St. Petersburg. I love Tampa Bay. But trust me, and we came up in the
Thank
90s,
you.
came out in 93, and that was right
Right.
when Rodney King and all that stuff was happening. And St. Pete PD, I'm
Yes.
gonna say it, I got harassed a few times. Teachers at school got harassed a few times by Gulfport PD. Close friends of mine harassed by the police too. You know, so I'm thankful that I was able to get out of here during that time and go see something else.
Thank you.
You know, and
Thank
I
you,
know
P. I
that
know that's right.
you
Okay,
moved
that's
away for a while too. Now, when
right.
I
That's the
was,
best decision I
yeah,
made was leaving
yeah,
leaving my
yeah,
home. Yes, it
yeah.
was.
So sometimes people just need to get away and see something different. You
And
know,
turn off the TV. Stop looking
yeah,
at TV. Stop looking at them shows. Stop trying to live your life like them people on a reality
that's
show.
right. That's right.
Come on.
Because
I
it's
just
not
I
right.
want to be that artist. Like I'm a reality person. I'm a real person. You
Hmm.
can see my struggles. No,
That's
I'm
right.
not rich. You know what I
That's
mean? But I got a message. I got a message.
that's
I
right.
ain't rich, but I got a message.
That's right. That's right. That's gonna be better for
I
your
feel that people
mind.
like me,
Yeah, better for your
I
mind and
feel
for
like
your
artists like
spirit.
myself, we need to be getting the love that these artists get, you know, in the world. And I'm aiming to be that artist that can be a role model, because I want to be a role model. Because if I have that platform, I want to be a role model to kids, to
Mm-hmm.
people, even adults. Because you know, even I'm a tall too. If you don't know, that's another thing I got, being tall. So when I'm out in public, being a tall woman, without even people knowing that I'm a poet, I get the love from people because they see a person who's carrying herself like a woman
Right.
should carry herself.
Right.
You know, no matter what I have on, they see a woman that's got carrying herself with grace. These are complete strangers telling me this. So even before I open my mouth, I know I'm carrying something with me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so
And it should not be a surprise that a Black woman is well spoken, that a Black woman is educated, that a Black woman is positive, that a Black woman is carrying
right.
herself, you know, in a ladylike way or in an elegant way. That should not be a surprise.
Thank you.
That should not be rare.
Apparently, it is. It is. It's intimidating. Also, may I add.
It is.
So you know, to be tall, slim, dark, poet, be able to touch people. There's a lot of things that come along with that, you know, but I stay strong. You know, that's the thing. People don't realize I go through my own things. I be over here crying and going through my things with people around me, but I still keep pushing. I still say, no, it can't. I'm gonna keep writing. I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do. No, I don't have the funds to do what I need to do to truly invest, but whatever I can invest in, like I invested in a little ring, like I invested
There
in a
you
little
go.
microphone stand, a little small things that mean
Yeah.
major to me, because that means
Yep.
I'm
That's
serious about
progress.
mine. Because when it's time for me,
Right.
so when it's time for me to get in front of 10,000 people, because I'm claiming 10,000 people.
All right.
Yes, I'm claiming that many people because I'm gonna speak in front of that many people. Because I know I have it in me, and I just feel like the thing about being around my home state, it just feels like, even though you shouldn't need people to root for you, but it feels good if you had
It
that,
feels
you
good
know.
to have that
But it's just
support.
hard
That's
to get
right.
it.
That's right.
Yes, it's kind of hard. So it's,
But
you
once you
know,
become more
definitely on that, you
successful
know.
and well known, that's when they're gonna come. I
I
remember
know, I know, I know, I know.
with the bogey with
I
Karin.
know.
Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da, da.
I know. Yeah, yeah. I'm
That's
like,
what's
yeah,
gonna
girl, I
happen.
know.
But where were you
But
with
I'm gonna
it?
be humble,
That's right.
right? But the thing about it is, I hate the fact that you know, that happens like that. But then I prayed, and the thing about, like, y'all see my scar, right? This is a clear, every morning I wake up and know that God saved me for a reason.
Amen.
So my thing is, like, I do not want to die before I can share my life story as far as how I am able to continue to keep speaking these poems. Like, you know, I mean, like I said, I'm not rich, but I got a message, and it's spiritually rich that I am. And I know I'm not a perfect person. No, I'm not. I'm not a perfect. I am a human who has been blessed with a gift, and I know that I got a responsibility with it, and I know that I can touch people, and that's the best thing to do. To know that you can touch somebody, even though people may not like you, they might see me walking into it. Because this is another thing that I go through, walking into the building, knowing that I'm a tall, slim woman, and then she's gonna open her mouth. That is sometimes, I guess, people don't like that, and I can feel the energy around me. But I've learned to let that energy get on me. I got like a force field around me, so I can get this, not let it get on me, because it's not my fault. They're dealing with what they're dealing with when it comes to me. I know that I gotta still do my job and come in there and speak my words and do what I gotta do and go. You know, I just wish people would just, mostly it goes all the way back to what I just said, the first line with Whitney Houston's song. The greatest love of all is loving yourself. Because if you love yourself, you would never be intimidated by the next person.
That's right.
Plain and simple.
That's right. And I'm glad that you mentioned that again, not necessarily the song, but this issue of being intimidating. There's a quote that I see floating around on Facebook every now and then, and I happen to see it at the perfect time. And it says, "You're not intimidating, they're just intimidated."
Mm-hmm.
So that whole intimidation thing, that's an internal thing for the person who's feeling it, to be honest with you. Especially if you are a person who are responsible with your words and you're a genuinely loving and positive person. You're not out here trying to hurt anybody. You're not out here trying to intimidate
anybody. I know.
That's
the thing I go through so much
to your
too.
energy. That's how they're responding
to your
energy. That's
sad though.
It is.
But people don't understand. I'm gonna speak on this though. I'm gonna speak on it because it's real. Like, I was going through some things even before the little audition, like my car accident, then certain things with my family. I'm not gonna get deep into it, but I was going through some things that I felt like, dang, I just feel like just disappearing. I just felt like disappearing. So it's funny that, you know, Taraji Henson started her little PTSD little segment on her, because I feel like I was going through some things, but what keeps me going is knowing that I got a gift that I got to share, and, you know, I don't want to let nobody down, including God.
That's right. That's right.
So it means a lot to me. I cry about my poetry. I cry. If I say I have a poem to someone, and if I share my poem with someone and they don't have an enthusiastic response to me, that tells me a lot.
Yeah.
That tells me they're not on my team. So that means they have to go. You know what I mean? Because it means a lot to me. You don't have to, oh, it's the best, but tell me, oh, Karin, that's good. That's, you know, tell me something to make me feel like you care that I'm pursuing my dream, because you really don't care about me if you not caring about me pursuing my dreams.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
It can be your mama, the boyfriend, cousin, teachers.
Anybody.
It's all around you. Co-workers. It's all around you.
Anybody.
I've been dealing that my whole life. Like, that's why I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep writing these. My next poem is called Negative People too. I'm writing a new poem called Negative People, and it's just about not letting people who have negative energy spoil your mood, because that's important every morning, to wake up happy. You have to wake up happy every morning, no matter if it's cloudy or not. And they're talking about, oh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. No, what? You woke up.
You woke up. There you go. You woke up. And one thing I like about one thing I like about Tabitha Brown, she says, "What if you're having a bad day? Okay, but don't you go out here and ruin somebody else's day." I was like, you know what? Plain and simple.
That's right. So that's what I want to do. I want to spread that positive energy. I want to spread that positive energy, even though I be going through some things myself. I still want to wake up each day and encourage somebody to keep pushing. No matter what you're going through, it can be worse. It could be worse. So just keep pushing, you know what I mean? that's what I want to be, that artist. And that's why I'm so glad I am a poet. And people always say, oh, you should be a model, you should be no, I want to be known to be touch somebody's soul, not to be known to be wearing somebody's clothes. So, you know what I mean? It's people look at stuff a different way, but that's how I want to be known. You know what I mean? Even though both of them would be great.
Well, when you have your platform, you'll be able to wear what you want to wear. So you'll still be modeling. And you said you want to be a role model.
Okay.
And model is a part of that whole term.
Yes.
Model anyway. So you'll be modeling definitely.
True.
Now you mentioned too that you enjoy.
It's gonna come naturally.
Yeah. You enjoy sharing your poetry at church. Have you ever thought about going into ministry?
See,
Do you feel
I have, but I haven't, because I feel called, but I just don't feel like I'm being welcomed. I hate to put it out there like that.
Okay.
I hate to say that.
Okay.
You know, they say that they supposed to welcome you, you know, with open arms. I don't be feeling like that. So I'm like, what am I to do? You know, what am I to do? Yeah, but pray on it. You know,
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I know I can't force myself upon people.
That's
or
right.
Upon. I just know I do have a gift. I know that. I'm willing to share it. People know this. I share it. If they say, "Come, Karin, come. You need to do a poem." Karin, come in. Karin, come in. You know what I mean? Even though they don't even say nothing about the dollar sign, I just say Karin, come in. And I still thought that I would get, you know, but it's I don't know. But eventually that'll happen. So
yes. I'm gonna definitely join prayer about that. Definitely
yes, because I have a lot of things. I want to help young women who's been in abuse. You know, anybody who's been going through things. Because I'm not a psychologist. No, I'm not. However, I've been doing a lot of self-care and research. You know what I mean? And I've really grown as a woman. You know what I mean? Like, and people should be able to see that in my poetry. They're really, because I don't really consider having fans like that, because I don't have all my things together. Like, I don't have a CD, I don't have a book, so I don't feel like the people have enough material of mine to be like, oh, I'm a fan. So that's what I want to plan on doing this year, is to just definitely get myself branded so I can get all the things together, you know, even though it's taken a while.
But it'll come forth at the right time.
That's right, in due time.
We talked about that last time, in particular with poems, you know, how long it takes. Was it 2020 Vision? It took you a while to write that one, right? And said,
oh, yes.
And you also used that metaphor this time that, you know, all of your poems are your children, so you don't necessarily have a favorite. So your ministry or your business, your organization, all of the things that you're envisioning for 2021 are going to come forth at the fullness of their time, so that you have that healthy baby. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, I can't wait, girl. Yes. I cannot wait. So, like, I'm really anticipating some great things in 2021. I've never think the world gonna be over. Everything's gonna be great. You gotta think positive, and I know everything's gonna be all right. You know, sometimes I get, you know, taken off track, but I get right back on it, because you know, if I didn't have that, y'all, I wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be here.
Me neither. Trust me. Me neither.
Okay.
All right, Karin. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It is always a pleasure having you on the Lit Minute Poetic Conversations. And we'll be back again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
We're going to check in. We're going to keep checking in with you, checking in on your progress.
Oh, check up on me, because you know what? Yes, please, because you might be seeing me on that AGT stage.
I know, right? And I was
just give a shout out to my girl, Stephanie.
She was on the minute.
And I was your first guest for this year. I'm so thankful and humble that you chose me to be the first, you know, the person on your show. So I appreciate that. I'm glad.
On the poetry show. I've grown quite a bit. I was given another vision towards the end of last year. I'm splitting up my genres now, and I primarily focus on literature or poetry. So I started a series focusing more so on the prose part, on the literature, in terms of like the written out stories and the fiction and the nonfiction in any particular subject category. And then I split that up from the poetry and the spoken word. So now the Lit Minute Poetic Conversations, of course, the title, I'm focusing on the poetry. And then the other show is focusing on stories, fiction and nonfiction, things of that nature.
Oh yes, I love that. I love that because I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna try to start. I don't know how to write a little fiction, but I can write some things, but I just need the help of how to format it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna
Absolutely.
tune into your show about that.
Absolutely. Definitely. I would love to help you with that. All right, ma'am. Well, this has been
Yeah,
another
definitely.
episode of the Lit Minute Poetic Conversations with me, Professor Stephanie Johnson, also known as D. Wright Professor, with my guest,
Yes,
Karin
go
Black
girl.
Beauty Talbert, the passionate poet. It's always a
That's
pleasure.
right, the passionate one.
The passionate poet. All right. And everyone, please remember reading and writing are lit. So be lit.